YouTube, it's your camera boy Jonah, and today I have some sad news. So I have the Canon 6D Mark II, and recently I also bought the Sony A7 III. Now the A7 III is a very good camera. I would say that it's like almost a perfect camera.
Almost.
Because as you maybe know, I shoot a lot of nightlife photography. And well, there's like a thing that not a lot of people talk about on YouTube here. That's why I'm making this video. And that's kind of like an issue with the Sony cameras in general, and also actually the Canon mirrorless cameras that are coming out, like the EOS R. And it's the next thing. So typically when I shoot people in a nightclub, I focus by using... Whoops, had to turn on the flash of course. So I focus by using this, yeah, you guys can see it, infrared AF autofocus assist beam. That's like in most speed lights, I would say, because this is like a fairly cheap Canon speed light and it even has it. So as you can see, it sends out this infrared beam, and this AF assist beam really helps your camera focus in really dark environments. For example, a nightclub. Another thing that's very useful about this beam is that it really kind of helps you compose your image when you're shooting without looking. Because in nightlife, a lot of the times I shoot like, just like this, kind of like from the air down to the people. It makes for a more dynamic shot, plus it's kind of like more like sneaky way to capture people like really in the moment. Like just walking around like this, boom, you got snapped. So yeah, because it's like kind of mainly in the center, you know what the center of your frame will be. So that's also useful. Now I did a lot of research on Sony cameras before I bought one, and I didn't find anything about this. I guess it's quite normal because like shooting nightlife, especially like in dark clubs, is like something that maybe like less than 1% of photographers do. So that's why it's probably not talked about that much. But yeah, the thing is with like these mirrorless cameras, so also the EOS R, I think, they don't read this infrared signal. So basically it's kind of like almost impossible to autofocus when I'm walking through the crowd and just like snapping pictures of people. And it's kind of like fast paced as well. So yeah, I don't want to be like waiting for 3-4 seconds for the camera to focus, because then the people see you and it's like less spontaneous and stuff like that. So yeah, this really sucks in my case. So yeah, I wanted to make this video to address this. So to let you guys know that if this is like one of the main things you do, Sony cameras might not be something for you. They are really good for like natural light club photography though, because you know, like the ISO is like fantastic. So for those like natural light shots, very awesome. But for shooting the people with a flash, I wouldn't recommend them. So that's why I'm actually keeping my 6D too. I use it for that. And then natural light pictures I take with both of these cameras. However, there is some kind of like similar thing on the Sony speed lights. It's like some LED that goes on to help you focus in the dark. But like in my scenario, it's like not useful at all, because it's like really invasive and it's not nice to like light up the club and people see you having like this light shine on them all of the time. This infrared beam is kind of like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like not visible, but you can get away with like sneaking around the club and trying to make some spontaneous pictures. With the LED thing on the Sony speed lights, it's absolutely not possible. Although it works for focusing, the way that I'll shoot, and I guess like most of the nightlife photographers shoot, it's just practically not possible to use this. Now, I asked somebody who shoots with Sony nightlife, and he uses like only Sony. So I was like, man, how do you take pictures of people with your flash? So this is like the way to shoot people with your Sony in a nightlife scenario, is to put your aperture like maybe at like f16, because when you shoot people, the framing is almost always exactly the same, and your distance to them as well. You can just like manually focus one time. Let's say, you know, like I wanna have the people always framed like this, like a little bit like a room on the head, like till under the chest, you know. That means I will always have the same distance to the camera. So I manually do this once, then I take an aperture of, let's say, f16. I don't know If you shoot with a 24mm at f16, like a meter distance for example, I guess like your depth of field is maybe around a meter. So you have some space to move around, and yeah, that's like a way to shoot with your Sony. I'm gonna try this out on one of the next events I'm shooting, but just in general, although I typically don't shoot at like very low apertures for these type of photos, I do prefer shooting maybe at f4.5 or maybe 2.8 sometimes, to get like some separation on a photo and get more like a glow of the ambient light. So yeah, that kind of sucks that you're like kind of stuck with f16 with Sony then, or like maybe f9 would be doable, but f4.5 maybe, but under that it's almost like impossible, I would say, to like focus like manually in a nightlife scenario. It's just too fast paced to do it. But as I said, I will try it out and I will let you guys know in one of the next videos how it went. Like this video if you want me to make more than one video in a month. And subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, tutorials and free presets that I give away on the channel. See you guys in the next one.